Well, we're delighted to be joined by Serena Humphrey, the director of the F Word and founder of Survive and Succeed campaign. Serena, just tell me briefly why you've got behind this campaign.
Okay, when the budget announcement came about in the summer, I listened to it and then I delved into the detail because I was going to write a blog about it. And what I found buried in the detail was the fact that they were going to put a 7.5% tax on directors' dividends. Now, this wasn't really covered in the headlines, it was buried quite deep. And I wasn't quite sure I was reading right at first because it seemed such an attack on small companies when the government had actually said they put small business at the heart of their 5-year plan. It just didn't seem to tally to me. And the more I looked into it and realised, yes, that was what they were going to do. And the more I talked to people about it, people were as up in arms as I was. And I was really shocked that the government that I've always supported and I've always voted Conservative, I couldn't believe that they were going to do this to small companies. You know, this is the way we've paid ourselves for as many years as I've been in business. It's a fundamental shift to the way business owners are treated and taxed.
And why are the government doing this?
They say it's to fund the corporation tax cut that's coming out the year after next and the year after that going to 19% and 18%. Reading between the lines, I think the biggest incentive for that corporation tax cut is aimed at larger companies. For example, Facebook, it was announced yesterday, paid £4,300 corporation tax last year, which is about half what I paid. There's something really fundamentally not right about that, and it feels to me that maybe this corporation tax cut is aimed at bigger companies. But even the benefit to small companies is minimal compared to the dividend tax extra payment we're going to have to make.
So could you quantify it, in terms of this 7% thing? What difference is it going to make?
To the smallest companies, it's going to make the biggest difference, and that's where my campaign is targeted at. It's aimed at the smallest companies who already are in that risk of not surviving the 5-year and 10-year, which is what the campaign's fundamentally about. So for myself, for example, for our business, it's either my marketing budget or my pension contribution's gone. And for clients I'm working with at the minute, a small tech client who's 3 years old in the creative quarter, it's the laptops gone they were going to buy for new starters next year. It's a fundamental difference to our cash flow. And the Survive and Succeed campaign is around lifting the long-term survival rates of small companies. This is going to do the opposite.
And why have you got behind this personally? What's in it for Serena Humphrey?
Nothing's in it for me as such, but for 20 years I've been on a mission to do something about the survival rate of small companies. In the UK, only 40% of companies are going to make it to their 5th birthday. So 60% of all companies are going to fail. Now, I don't think anybody sets up believing that they've got a pretty good chance of failing. But a 10-year survival rate is only 20%. So that's the odds of being around in the long term are pretty low. Now, I know from the years I've worked with small companies that if we look after the financial side of a business, you can significantly increase that survival rate. So it's been kind of on my to-do list for a very long time to launch a campaign to do something about this. When that dividend tax kicked in, it just felt like that was the right moment in time. And this was the time to step up and start.
So how can SMEs and company owners really get behind this campaign?
So first of all, sign the petition. The petition is on the UK petition website. It's easy to find on Google, it comes up on the top. But check you're signing the right one if you do go there, because there are a few small campaigns out there. Ours has over 30,000 signatures on so far. Sign that. Secondly, spread the word. Share it on Google, share it on Twitter, share it on LinkedIn, share it on Facebook. Write to your clients, email your customers, email your friends and contacts. I want every business in the country to be aware of this petition so they've got the chance to object if they want to. I was at a seminar on Friday of 120 business leaders from the East Midlands. Very few even knew about it yet, so we've still got a big job to get this petition out there.
And what happens when I get onto this campaign or this petition? Where does it go?
So it's already on the government's petition website, so they're aware of the campaign.
Yes.
They actually responded at 10,000 signatures. It was, as you'd expect, a very typical standard policy response of we are fully committed to supporting small business, blah, blah, blah. What we believe is that they haven't actually clearly enough understood what they're doing to small companies with this tax, how fundamental an issue this is for us. Yeah. There was no consultation, it wasn't talked about in the manifesto, it was a complete surprise shock tax. And there was a manifesto commitment to no income tax rises. Now, whichever way you cut this up, this is an income tax rise for every business owner in the country.
And what about writing to MPs? Is that something that you would promote?
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
So a lot of our campaign supporters have already written to their MPs, which is fantastic. Clearly, if we can write to lots and lots of MPs, that will be even better.
Yeah.
But I think we need to attack this from every prong we can think of.
Yeah.
So the social media, the writing to MPs, signing the petition, and any way possible we can spread the word.
And in your mind, what would great look like?
Okay, so the next milestone is 100,000, because at that point government may then debate it in the House of Commons. But I want 500,000. I want this response to be so overwhelming that the government have absolutely no choice but to actually take this more seriously and to listen to what business owners are saying about what's going to make a difference to their survival.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned a few minutes ago about social media. You talked about LinkedIn and Twitter. What, again, can we do really to get behind it on using that sort of social media platform?
So by all means go on there and tweet on your own right about the campaign. Always use the campaign petition link. Also you can follow either the F word, which is at F word training, or at survive_succeed.
Yeah.
You can follow all the petition news there, you can retweet it, you can share it. I think the thing is, the bigger the coverage we can get, the better. We're also really open to ideas. If anyone knows anyone we should be talking to, or anyone's got any high leverage contacts, or people with groups of contacts or connections or clients, we just want to reach as many people as we can.
Yeah. And I think, again, a lot of what you're saying is about awareness. I'm struck probably that most business owners right now don't know and understand the importance of this thing that's probably going straight over their head or not even on the radar.
I think you're right. I spoke to someone yesterday who is right at the forefront of business support in the East Midlands, and he didn't actually really know what the tax was all about. And once I explained it, it was like going, crikey, that really affects me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think you're right, that although we've got 30,000 people signed up in 6 weeks, and that's been pretty organic, that's just kind of happened through social media and the press we've had so far. We've been in the Mail on Sunday, we've been in the Independent, and we've been in finance and tax blogs all over the country. But I think the mass of the small business market still doesn't know about this. And I think if they did know, they'd have the chance to say if they agreed with it or not.
Yeah, very neat. When's your next campaign event and how can we get behind that?
Okay, so that's on the 26th of November. That's being held at Geldard's NG2 in Nottingham. We've got some good guest speakers for that. We've got Ian Baxter, who founded and sold RH Freight a couple of years ago, now owns Baxter Freight, and the lovely Jennifer from FC7 Construction. Myself and Sam Metcalf will be there again, and it's really to take the campaign to that next level.
Yeah.
What that looks like in another 6 weeks' time, we don't know yet, but we'll be moving on to the next level.
Well, I hope you're knocking on the door of at least 100,000 by
We'd
then.
want to be there. I'd like 40,000 this week if I can,
right,
on the back
okay.
of last week's success. But yeah, 100,000 in 6 weeks would be fantastic.
Is there anything else that we can do to get involved, that a business can do really to get involved or get in touch with you or give you the sort of encouragement to keep this thing moving forward?
All of those, yes.
Right.
I mean, share on social media.
Yeah.
The more people talking about it. I mean, I did a search on Twitter yesterday. I was just blown away by just how many conversations were taking place on Twitter already that I hadn't even noticed. So talk to people, share it with people, tell your customers, tell your suppliers, tell your friends, because people just don't know about it enough yet. And when they do, most people's reaction is the same, that they want this dividend tax stopped.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan. Serena, what we can do is applaud you for the energy and the commitment you put into this campaign and wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.